Ever since the release of the original trilogy by George Lucas, a lot of fans have loved the Star Wars franchise, and up until the sequel trilogy, there's been quite a divide between the fan base based on what happened with The Last Jedi, and specifically also The Rise of Skywalker. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are primarily focused right now on reuniting the fan base, and by doing this, they really have to do something over the top to the point where it's really going to satisfy the fans, and that's exactly what they're trying to do with their new Star Wars universe and their new Star Wars trilogy of films, their new Star Wars TV series, both in live action and animated form. It really is quite something to think that they're really trying to reunite the fans, either in an act of desperation, or if this is very genuine, I would have to say it's more so an act of desperation, to tell you guys the truth here. So, when we look at what Disney has been crafting for the past couple of years, we've had a handful of movies, 5 to be exact, and we've had a couple of other projects, like, of course, we've had The Mandalorian, we now got the Clone Wars Season 7, and more to come. Now, on top of all of this, the thing that really stands out to me the most is the fact that this new Star Wars universe is really going to change how fans view many of the movies that come before Episode 9. And this is something I think is going to worry some fans out there, the fact that some retcons are being made, not just to the sequels and the prequels, but also now the original trilogy. Now, specifically, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently finished with the Skywalker saga, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy, as well as their new Star Wars universe, where it's noted that the plan for their new Star Wars universe to make many changes, not just to the sequels, but also to other aspects of the franchise that will expand the franchise by Disney. Now, it's noted that one of the major plans they have in store is to retcon elements of the original trilogy that will make the fans view the film in a different way. Now, it's noted that one of the big plans is to retcon many elements of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, as this is said to dive into Palpatine's story of resurrection and how he was able to find the path to immortality. Now, the new Star Wars universe is set to change how fans view Episodes 5 and 6, and then a majority of this will have to do with both characters, Luke Skywalker and Emperor Palpatine, where it's noted that this is Disney's attempt to make the franchise more understandable for the hardcore fans when it comes to Palpatine's story of survival, and new secrets about Luke Skywalker and the Force that will connect to the original trilogy films by George Lucas. It's explained that this idea is set to create new Star Wars lore that the fans have never seen before in both Legends or the current canon material, and that they want to completely change how fans view the Force during the events of both the prequels and the originals. Not just that, but also they plan to reset the original trilogy in the form of books, novels, and comics by showing Palpatine's plan to immortality in the shadows, and behind the scenes from Vader and Luke, and what it actually looked like during the events of those episodes. So, the thing about this plan by Disney that does in fact worry me, and I will express this right now, is that this does worry me quite a bit as to exactly how significant these retcons are really going to be in the current canon material of the original trilogy era. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of books, novels, comics out there and more that already explain aspects of the past, but Disney and Lucasfilm, they really want to create a library's worth of Star Wars material. Basically, they want to make this new EU bigger than the old one ever was, and that really does tell us a lot. That tells us that Disney really wants to make themselves very successful at Star Wars. Aside from the movies and the TV shows, they also want to really thrive, with the books, the novels, the video games, and everything related to it in that sense, right? The thing here is this: these retcons that are being planned for the original trilogy are said to tie directly into a retelling of the original trilogy, and how Palpatine and Luke Skywalker are going to be told in different ways during the exact moments in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The thing about this that I think is going to be a little bit risky is whether or not these retcons are really going to be worthy of the Star Wars community, whether or not fans are really going to accept these retcons. Again, like I say, J.J. Abrams wanted to keep Palpatine's survival a mystery for a specific reason, and that's because they're going to fully explain this in their new Star Wars universe, First, they're going to tease it in their upcoming novelization coming out this March, which I will be picking up and explaining everything to you guys. I love books, so, you know, when I read that, I get a better idea of what the deleted scenes were really going to be like in this movie, and what other scenes could have been in Episode 9. That's the great thing about novelizations, is that you do get a better extended segment of each and every scene from, of course, these Star Wars movies. So, with that being said, when you think about everything related to Palpatine and Luke and how that's going to be retold in different ways, makes you wonder exactly what that means for Luke Skywalker. I can understand Palpatine, but what does it really mean for Luke Skywalker? Exactly, what are they really going to retcon about Luke in the original trilogy? So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.